Hey guys, we are going to be making this Traybake pancake, popularly called sheet pancake. Welcome back to my channel once again. My name is Chioma if you are new here, and I'm going to be starting this pancake by lining my baking tray first. So I'm going to be using a baking sheet. As you can see, the baking sheet comes sometimes in brown or in white colored form. I'm cutting it to be the same size as my baking tray. Then I'm going to soak it in water, as you can see, and squeeze it out. Making this or doing this helps my tray, helps the baking sheet to go press into the baking tray very well without me struggling to put the baking sheet in the pan. So this is a hack that I'm sure a lot of people don't know about. So give me a thumbs up if you don't know this hack, and I'm teaching you that today. So I'm going to be using butter. I'm going to use melted butter to spread all over the tray first, and then I'm going into the main thing of the day, which is a pancake. I'm using plain flour this time. I don't use self-raising flour for this, so it's plain flour which I'm using, and I'm using 1.5 cups of plain flour for this particular tray bake today. You can use more if you are doing more of it. If you have a larger tray, that's fine. So 1.5 cups of plain flour, and then I've got bicarbonate of soda here. That is also called baking soda. This is not baking powder. This is baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, and I'm using 1 teaspoon of that. And then I've got my sugar here. This is brown sugar. You can use brown or white sugar. I used a tablespoon, and I love flavoring with mixed spice. You can use nutmeg, you can use cinnamon. A tablespoon is fine, and then a pinch of salt, and you give your dry ingredients a very quick stir just to combine everything together, as you can see. Next, I'm going to mix my wet ingredients. So I'm going to be starting with my buttermilk. I'm using buttermilk today for this tray bake. So I've got my buttermilk in here. I bought this in the shop, but if you cannot find buttermilk, this is another way. You can use plain milk, just whole milk, and add a cup of whole milk and a tablespoon of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. If you don't have cider vinegar, you can use lemon in place of that. Allow this to rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, and this is your homemade buttermilk, all easy. So if you don't have the buttermilk from the shop, if you cannot get it in the shop, you can always use this. Back to our recipe. I just added a little bit of milk to rinse out the buttermilk, right? Just shake it, and then I poured everything in. So I'm using my buttermilk. I'm using like a cup. This buttermilk is like 1 cup and a little bit, a cup and a quarter. That's what I'm using. And then I'm adding an egg. I'm just using 1 egg, like I said. Then I'm going to add some vanilla essence. If you don't like vanilla essence, it's quite optional. You can use any other flavoring of your choice if you want. And then I'm going to give everything a quick stir again. As you can see, just stir it all up together, and then I'm going to transfer it into my wet ingredients. So I'm going to pour the buttermilk, egg, and vanilla mixture into my dry ingredients. Sorry, yeah, the dry ingredients. Yeah, so I've put everything in now, and I'm giving it a stir again. I'm stirring it gently. You don't want to stir it so hard so that it doesn't start getting like stretchy. So I changed my stirring spoon to my spatula, and you can see how I'm mixing it. I am not like doing it anybody saying adoya dok in a I am not doing it as if I'm turning eba. I'm doing it gently so that I'm, yeah, what we call it is the folding in method. So I'm folding it in so that it will still be very fluffy when I finish. You can see I added a little bit of milk to loosen it, to give it this consistency. So you can add that, or you can leave it if you want it thick. And then the next thing is to put it into my tray. So I'm putting everything into the tray here. My tray, like you saw earlier, I've already had it buttered, And if you don't have a baking sheet, you can always put it on your tray bake as it is, your tray as it is. It's a tray bake. The tray is used for baking. So if you don't have a baking sheet, don't worry. Use your tray like that, or you can use foil paper too. Foil paper is another thing that you can use in place of that. So all my batter has gone into the tray bake. I've tried to level it as much as I can, and then I'm going to be putting some toppings. You can use any topping of your choice. You can see here I'm using some blueberries here. I'm just putting it on top of it and just trying to scatter it all over. And then I'm also adding some chocolate chips. Okay, I've got one which I also use some apple slices. You can see there. You can use anything, any flavoring of your choice. You can use strawberries, anything you have. You can just top it up with it. And then the next thing is to use your melted butter and just, you know, baste the top of it. Baste the top of these toppings, the fruits. Make sure that it touches it, so that when you put it into the oven, it's not going to burn it up, you know. So the butter also helps to give it that moist look. So into the oven it goes, it stays there, and you allow it to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes it's not up to 20 minutes. You can use a toothpick to dip in, and then you can see whether it's done. And you can see it here. Perfect. You can see that for yourself. So that's our pancake all ready. And I'm cutting it. You can see the way I cut it. The good thing with this pancake is that when you cut it like this, you can always freeze it. Watching till the end, you will see how I pack it and freeze it. And it's a good snack for the kids, breakfast, anything. And you can eat it with, you know, there's a lot of ways that you can garnish this. You can have this as a whole meal. There's a lot of things that you can do with this pancake. It can go into the lunchbox for children that like to pick, you know, be picky with their food. For adults, add some sausages, add some bacon, make pap, akamu, yeah, make custard, have it with this. It's really a whole meal. If you're a vegetable person, you can actually make it savory too if you want. So there's a whole lot of things. If you're still watching this, I hope you have given me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Click the notification bell and get notified whenever I post new videos. And you can see here I'm having it with maple syrup, and you can see how soft and fluffy this is. It is not stretchy, it's not like tough. It's quite soft and fluffy. And that's it here. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. See my hand, see my finger, see my thumb, whatever. Bye.